Oh my gosh. Can I not get it ever together? Are we muted? Oh, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Oh, honey. See, this is why I'm not a morning person. I haven't tuned my guitar in a while. I was playing in the key of E flat. Also, I have found both of my capos, so I came in here this last night, was playing, and I looked at my guitar and there was capos all over it. It's like some kind of joke. So there's been times when I couldn't find either one of the capos. Yeah. Go. That's G chord. String, I mean. It's important when you're tuning your guitar to make sure you're turning the right key up here, you know. I did that so many times when I was learning. In fact, I've done it, I've turned the wrong key and broke a string. Yeah. Honey, you think you want to go outside? My dog said they want to go outside. All right, let's do that. Come on, let's not knock the camera over. You want to go outside, Porky? Now y'all gonna be out there for a minute. I'll tell you that. Guys, one more string left, okay? And then we'll talk about the soap. Oh. So I wrote a little jingle about 4th of July. It's kind of like a chorus, right? I don't really have all the words, but I got the ideas like, you let me up like a 4th of July. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Yeah. So there you go. Isn't that cute? Now listen, I looked it up and there are no actual lyrics to say what I said, you know. So if y'all know that I'm stealing, let me know. It'll break my heart if I go on with that. And no, it's not about Larry, but it is about Larry. We didn't meet on the 4th of July. Are we muted? That was funny. All right. Soap making. And I don't mean like ordering the ready-made stuff and melting it and pour it in a thing, you know. I mean like real soap making. So cold press is what I'm trying to do. I'm going to be using like a mixture of, say, tallow, coconut oil, maybe a little olive oil, and then a lye mixture, LYE, not LIE, and water. And then I also have some essential oils. I have my goat milk, you know, using the goat milk, you have to like freeze the goat milk into ice cubes and then add it at a specific time, all that kind of stuff. I don't really know what I'm doing because I've never done it before, but I've got this book right here. It's called Back to the Basics. Now, it's got all kind of stuff in here, Basically anything you might try on a homestead and basic instructions on how to do that, right? Maybe not the fancy way, It tells you how to break down meat. It tells you how to fish. You can build an igloo. It's a great book, and I'm not the only one who has it. A friend of mine, Crooked Peach, has one that's just a different year. It's got a different cover. This is Reader's Digest. This is a second edition. How to learn and enjoy traditional American skills. Let's see what year it was. Copyright 1981. Yeah. So, soap making, a simple miracle to perform yourself in your kitchen, not in my kitchen. First of all, my vent over there burned up over the stove and needs to be replaced. Second of all, my kitchen window does not open. I have no screen on my sliding glass door, so I can't just leave that open because of the flies, I got let's see. Well, listen. Yes. I got this to use outside. So it's got a big burner side and then it's got a little burner side. It's electric. I've got a plug right outside there. So I figure on a good sunny day, I'll be making soap out there, right? That's my plan. And I got some essential oils. Try to hide them from my daughter because she will just she'll just use them. They'll be in the bath water. So we got vitamin E because it's sort of a preserver, but also because it's vitamin E. This is rosehip oil, again beneficial. And I just don't have enough roses around here to make it all on my own. That's some lemongrass essential oil, peppermint essential oil. Okay. You can't just put any essential oil into your soap with the heat and everything. And it goes in at a specific time too. I'm not really clear on that, but these carry the best. They're also very beneficial, so I picked these: peppermint, the lavender, sandalwood is not one that's a big carrier, so iffy on that one. Okay, if you put it in, then it won't smell at the end is what I mean. And so what's the point if it doesn't smell? Okay. Other than being beneficial. This is rose. Lang Lang essential oil. I have no idea what that is. It smells really good. Yeah, I don't know what's in it. It just smells weird. Sweet orange essential oil. It smells like orange. Those orange slices the little chewy things you get. That's what it smells like. Rosemary and goat milk soap. It's so... They did not have rosemary. And right now, I just harvested a gallon baggie of rosemary, Shay. And you know, that's why I want a distiller. I want to make my own essential oils. Yingling, it's good for you. I'm glad somebody knows about the, how do you say the lang? Is it lang lang? Yalang lang? I love you, Maria. You think Oklahomans can't pronounce anything? All right, so one substance, many varieties. Every soap is made by saponification, chemical combination of lye, water, and fat. One soap will differ from the next depending on the kind of fat, the kind of lye, and how much of each is used. Lye made from wood ash produces soft soap, so called because of its jelly-like consistency. In contrast, soap made from commercial lye, sodium hydroxide, will be hard, and that is what I got. I'll be making hard soap. Soaps containing coconut oil tend to lather well in cold water, but may have a drying action on the skin. Superfatted soaps, such as Castile, that contain excess amounts of unsaponified fat, saponified, that sounds better, are particularly gentle and make excellent toilet soap. For the sake of convenience or for some special use, soap can be altered in consistency and appearance. Jellied soap for doing the dishes is obtained by slicing off shavings of hard soap, and you probably wouldn't put fragrance in those, right? And boiling them in water until they dissolve. About 1 pound of shavings per gallon of water should be used. See? I'll be making my own dish soap. Maybe. At least try it. No, I lost my place. 1 pound of shavings per gallon of water. To produce soap flakes for laundry use, simply grate any ordinary hard soap. Add a few tablespoons of borax to improve water softening ability and quicken sudsing action. See? Laundry soap. Wow. The preparation of liquid soap is somewhat more complicated. It is generally based on vegetable oils rather than animal fats and requires the addition of glycerin and alcohol during the soap making process, followed by filtering. You can also make soap that floats. Gently whip the warm soap solution with an egg beater just before pouring it into your molds. When it hardens, the trapped air bubbles will make it float. And then it has a little subset right here of plants that make natural cleaners. So you have soapwort, and then you have the western soapberry. Soapwort is also called bouncing vet. It's a pink blossom perennial that grows wild throughout most of the United States. The juice from the root produces a lather when mixed with water. Another soap plant is the yucca. Haley's been wanting to go around digging up yuccas for this. Its roots, broken into pieces and mixed with water, form a gentle soap-like compound for the skin and hair. And then California soap root is a member of the lily family, contains a liquid in the middle of its bulb that makes an excellent anti-dandruff shampoo. You just crush the bulb and mix it with water. Okay, and we talked about the soapberry tree, found in southern Florida as well as South America. The southern soapberry tree, western soapberry tree, contains seeds that produce lather and water and closely duplicate the cleansing action of soap. Do I already have a recipe? I have the recipe this book gives me, Shay. If you have any recipes, I will gladly take them. Well, right here, I was thinking of doing this first. It says the single bar method, so I don't have to worry about mixing a big bunch up at once and then having it fail. I can do this right here. I've already got my beef tallow, got my lye. I just need to go get some, I don't have soft water here. Yes, yes, yes. Again, let me show it to you. Reader's Digest. It's back to basics. And there's several different color, it's just different editions. I would try to get the oldest one I could if I were you. Or then again, maybe a newer one has better changes, you know. So yeah. So your single bar method, you just need half a cup of soft water, 2 heaping tablespoons of commercial lye, and 1 cup of your beef tallow. And then you mix it with an egg beater. One reason I don't want to do my big batch yet is because I'm supposed to get a wand thing. I didn't get a wand thing. You know, every week I have kind of a budget of what I can spend, and that's why I've been buying the soap making stuff in chapters. I completely forgot about the wand thing. Hey, Heart. Yes. Also, because Grandma used to get some of those Reader Digest condensed versions of like great novels. So that gets you reading, when you're young, gets you reading novels that you never would have read before, maybe, or even seen. They put out all kind of those. This is one thing. My towel's already rendered, but it has a smell. So I'm wondering how my soap's going to smell. Shay, if you want to send me a soap recipe, unless it's a guarded secret, you can just email it to me. I will take a look. So the 3 ingredients needed to make soap, fat, water, and lye are all readily available. Lye in the form of sodium hydroxide is sold as dry crystals in many supermarkets and hardware stores. Lye in the form of potash, potassium hydroxide, can be made at home from wood ash. And I've Googled doing that, and Google's like, you don't know the purity of what you're making and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I in theory, like, I want to do it. And this book actually teaches you how to collect your own wood ash properly. Right here. Okay. You see this little like wooden barrel thing, and you're supposed to put your wood ash in it. It's supposed to have like a hole in the bottom, and then you drain out to the bottom. Like, what you do is you wait for it to rain, because rain is supposed to be soft water. Do you get me? Yes, you put straw in the bottom, and the wood ash filters through the straw. Then it says after lye is made, you test it by cracking in a raw egg. If the egg barely floats, the lye is good for soap making. So to make the lye, you fill the depression in your, okay. Place the barrel on cinder blocks or other supports so that a crock or enamel pot can be placed underneath it to collect the solution as it seeps out. You set up the barrel at an angle with the opening at the lowest point so the lye will run out of it and into the crock. You line the bottom of the barrel with straw to prevent ashes from sifting into the lye solution, and pack the barrel with ashes. Almost any hardwood ash will do, but oak, hickory, sugar maple, fruitwoods, beech, and ash produce the strongest lye. Then you scoop out a depression at the top large enough to hold 2 to 3 quarts of water. Yeah, you got to drill a hole as near to the bottom as possible of your tub. So you fill your depression with the rainwater, heated to boiling, and you let the water seep down through the ashes. When the water has seeped away, add more. It will be a while before the lye begins to trickle out the bottom, perhaps as long as several days if the ashes have been packed tightly. Do not try to hurry the process by adding extra water prematurely. Soap can be made directly from the lye solution. It's often convenient to have the lye in crystalline form. Crystals permit more precision in the soap making process. To extract crystalline potash from the lye water, boil down the solution in a stainless steel or enamelware pot. I don't like the idea of the enamelware myself. At first, a dark residue called black salts will form. By maintaining heat, additional impurities can be driven off, leaving the grayish-white potash. What do you think about that? Give me my book back! Hey, Peace! Yep. Want to make soap out of this book, Peach. I am scared. I'm going to talk it over with my friends. Okay, here we go. Where was I at here? All types of lye are highly caustic substances that react with plastic, aluminum, and tin. Yes, and if you're using a stainless steel pot, you need to make sure it's a good stainless steel pot. And I don't know how to make sure it's a good stainless steel pot. You know what I mean? And I definitely don't want anything weird happening when I go to pour my lye in my water. Fat for soap making can be almost any animal fat or vegetable oil. It says from reclaimed kitchen grease. No. Or castor oil. The water should be soft. Distilled water is what I'm going to use. If you are in a hard water area, yes. And it says you can use hard water, treat it with a commercial softener, or add a few tablespoons of borax to it. You can collect rainwater. Now, see, this book tells me I can hold my lye solution in a 2-quart juice bottle. Punch holes in the cover. It does not designate whether that juice bottle is plastic or a glass bottle. I would think it'd have to be glass, right? Because I don't think you'd put a lye solution in any plastic. That sounds like a no-no. Anyway. Then you need a 10 to 12 quart pot to hold your fat and lye. A wooden spoon to stir the lye solution in fat. I'm going to say right now it needs to be pretty long. Then we need a candy or dairy thermometer. Rubber gloves. Molds for the soap, which I have. Insulation to keep the soap warm after it is poured into molds. I don't have that. But you can use cardboard, styrofoam, or an ordinary blanket. Enough newspaper to cover the work surface and floor area where you be working. So you prepare your lye first so that it will have a chance to cool. You are heating it? No, you're not heating it. The lye crystals generate their own temperature. it can get over 200 degrees. Now, you don't want that lye on you at all. You know, it's danger. And you don't want to breathe it. And I'm pretty sure you add your crystals to your water. Yes. You add your lye slowly to the water. You don't do it the other way around because that's like a bad thing. The container can be placed in a basin of cold water to hasten cooling after you've mixed it. Once the solution has cooled, you can pour it into a 2-quart glass container. You should have your animal fat then. You got to warm it up to get it to, be liquid, but it has to cool down, and it has to be about the same temperature as your lye solution. Yes. And like I said, you can have different kinds of fat. You can just use the tallow, or you can mix it with coconut oil, or whatever you're doing, olive oil. So the standard recipe calls for 6 pounds of beef fat, 2.5 pints of water, and 13 ounces of lye crystals. But there are other recipes. We'll get to that in a minute. Saponification is the chemical process by which soap is formed by lye, water, and fat. In order for it to occur, the temperature of the lye solution and fat has to be carefully controlled. The simplest method is to bring both the lye and the fat to about 95 degrees to 98 degrees before mixing them together. Some experts recommend that the fat be at a slightly higher temperature than the lye, about 125 for the fat to 93 degrees for the lye, when beef tallow is used. 83 to 73 when lard is used. 105 to 83 for half lard and half tallow. See? So like there's little caveats for each type of fat you use. Can we get a lab demonstration? Yes? You think I'm going to do this and not film it? First of all, it's going to be scary. I'm going to be super stressed out. Like, it's just going to be a good video. I don't think I want to do it today. Please don't make me do it today. I just survived 4th of July, Pete. Not mean. I just survived 4th of July. Hey, and do you ever worry like stuff's gonna happen? You go into big crowds these days, because I do. But honestly, Mother Nature and the fireworks had just as much in store for us as any as any psycho would have had. Yeah, it will make a great, and it's going to be a video because I'm sure there's going to be cusses. There's going to be cuss words. There's going to be cuss words. Yes, the single bar method, because then I won't waste any ingredients. Not a lot of ingredients. If you're just using, but then I have to get a very small stainless steel pot, which I really don't have. Yeah. Like the only stainless steel pots I got are huge. Like I got one that's, I think it's 10 or 12 quart. And then the smaller one is just slightly smaller than that. Hi, come on, David. How are you, David? Hello to everybody, by the way. I just went to tuning guitar and talking about soap. So the different kinds of soap they have in here, which I'm excited. A survey of soap recipes. We got beauty soap. And in the beauty soaps, there's an avocado soap for the avocado oil. There's Castile soap, which we talked about. And that one, I'd like to maybe try that one because it's olive oil and tallow. And then Castile soap, it was when you're mixing up your pest stuff in the garden, Castile soap is good to have, and to not have a scented version, because girl and I looked at so many stores for Castile soap to make up our aphid spray, and we got one that said it was naturally scented. That's the best we could find, and it didn't designate what kind of natural damn smell it was. It just said natural. It didn't hurt our plants though. So then there's a coconut and olive oil soap, and then a cold cream soap. And this is where you buy commercial cold cream and you pour it into your own soap. That sounds interesting. Lanolin soap, milk and honey soap, and it calls for powdered milk. See, I struggle with wanting to use my own goat milk because we make cheese. And right now we're just milking a Nigerian dwarf. They don't give much milk. I get about 4 cups a day, maybe 6 if she's really froggy. They have powdered bags of goat milk soap at the grocery store. I could get that. It just takes a little bit per, and then I won't have to worry about freezing my soap. My milk. Yes. Palm soap, which is palm oil. Is that palm olive? You use bleached palm oil and 2 pounds of olive oil. That's palm olive, guys. I can't remember the name of the one we got, Peach, but it was something. And it was something that Google knew about too. So it wasn't just a weird Oklahoma thing. The Castile soap. And then rosewater soap. Slightly astringent for oily skin. You use 4 ounces of rose water. For plain water, you substitute and then you mix with your lye. I saw rose water at Hobby Lobby. So that's interesting. And then you got your scented soaps with essential oils, which is what I'm going to try, but not right away. I'm going to do regular soap first. It says you can make your own infusions too, for your herbs and stuff. And yeah, I've been saving my herbs. You steep the plant in boiling water, you strain off your solids, and substitute the infusion for some of the water. And this is what I was telling Miss T, that I think I could buy her teas and make them up and use those for my water. You strain them, of course. Any tea that you can buy and drink, then you can just use that for your soap water. Well, you'd have to make it with distilled water, so it would be soft water. Go eat. I'll see you later, Peach. Cinnamon soap. You can make cinnamon. These are the scented soaps. And then you have colored soaps. It tells you roots, barks, leaves, flowers, fruits, vegetables can be used for coloring. Spices such as turmeric, natural dyes such as chlorophyll can be added directly to the soap mixture before pouring into your molds. Candle dyes and liquid bluing also work well. Food coloring does not work. To make your own dye, you pour boiling water over whatever it is you're trying to get the color out of until a deep color is achieved. Strain out the solid pieces and use 4 to 10 ounces of the liquid in your standard recipe. Substitute that out with your water. Shampoo soap for blondes. You use chamomile, mullein flowers, and marigold. You steep with hot water, like I just said, and then And then there's one for brunettes, which is from rosemary, raspberry leaves, and red sage. Anyway, we probably talked enough about the soap. Do you grow roses? I have two different, well, three different rose bushes. The third one is a little puny thing for now and is currently being hogged up by cucumbers. But the other two roses, if y'all remember, I moved them. They were in different places, and neither one has responded well to moving. They are alive, but I have found that roses don't like to be moved. In fact, the one out front we moved from Colorado with us. It took a while for it, like until the next year, for it to do anything for us. So you just rose water. You just take rose buds and do the hot water thing, and that's rose water. I told you, girl did this week. Not this week. It was about a month ago. She had made lavender water. She went out. I told her, that Spanish lavender has got blooms all over it. Go out and go harvest them so we can dry them. Well, she thought that she would just go ahead and I mean, she filled up one of my big stainless steel things I was just telling y'all about. I only got big ones. She filled that whole thing up with water, put all of the Spanish lavender flowers in there, and just let it boil. And it smelled really good, right? But I was kind of aggravated because I wanted to save those flowers. Anyway, I had to move that pot. I moved it over here. I don't know what I was going to do with it, but I moved it, right? Because I was canning, okay? And I forgot about where I put the big lavender water pot, and I went and got my pressure canner was up on the stove, and I went and got it and went to take it to the sink to drain it. I could barely lift that thing full of water. And my big old butt knocked that lavender water off, and I mean, it flooded the kitchen. All points of, yes, it flooded it. And I mean, I cussed. I was so mad. Damn lavender water. Why? Why'd you waste my lavender? Well, I went to mopping it up with every towel in the house, and I realized that the floor was like amazingly clean. I mean, it was awesome. So lavender, well, I would hate to waste it on a cleaning product. Lavender really is a good cleaner. And I asked Google why, and he told me why. And it's something about when you boil certain plants, it does something to them. And it made it a good cleaner. And on Haley came in the house. Why does it smell so good in here? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you right why. Refusing to flower. Listen, I have a hard time with lavender. Like y'all's English lavender, it doesn't want to live for me here. I don't know if it's only a 2-year plant, and I don't know, or I can get like 2 years out of them. Like the second year is always kind of terrible, and then it just goes away. This is cedar wood, but I can't really smell much out of it. I think I got blowed out with the other ones. But that Spanish lavender really likes it here. And I'm thinking maybe it's like it likes hotter weather, so maybe it's doing better for me. Yeah, water triples. Yes, it does. And honey, that was so many quarts of water. I can't tell you how many, but yeah, it made a mess. And then I had to wash all the towels. But the floor, even Haley was like, yeah, this kitchen floor never felt so clean. It's like too bad we didn't have a drain hole in the floor, I'll tell you. That would have been a good idea. Oh, it was a mess. I'm trying to can. Oh, speaking of canning, these are my efforts from yesterday. There's 5 jars in total of this. 3 of this size and then 2 of this size. But I'm thinking Larry might have taken a jar with him. And this is less sweet pepper relish, because the other had way too much sugar in it. I don't know why anybody wants that much sugar. And they claimed they won a fair prize in Mexico with that. And it's a great recipe. It was just too sweet. It was so the other was so sweet, like it took the hot out of the peppers, right? But this is really good and really hot. This has got several Carolina Reapers and habaneros in it. Just a few seeds I see floating around in there. And then this, I did 2 quarts of my slightly runny tomato sauce. Listen, you just put you some tomato paste in there and you got yourself a winner. And I want to tell you about this. This is from, you know, like one of the tomatoes I'm growing out there is beefsteak. Another one's ox heart. Not all the tomatoes I'm growing are good for sauces, but I'm going ahead and cooking them down anyway. So this is why I was kind of beating myself. Like, was I supposed to cook these down more? Like, you don't understand. And my heart is breaking because a pot of tomatoes cooks down to about half. Okay, so if you got a 4-quart pot and it's jam-packed full of tomatoes, right? When you've cooked all that down and then you run your food mill and get all the bits out and you put it back in that pan, it's going to be 2 quarts or less. And that I think I even cooked down a little more. Friend, I missed you last night by 30 minutes. I saw you was live. Dry, poor condition, but plenty of sun. Plenty of sun, though, depends on where you are, because plenty of sun here will burn my lavender up. You know what I mean? Because it gets 100 degrees. Not everybody gets 100 degrees. You know what I mean? So, like, I get that. But, like, my lavender needs shade in the heat of the day. You know what I mean? So, like, I make sure, yeah, I don't special treat my lavender either. So she's right about that. Yes. Yeah, but you know, because it has vinegar in it, the pickled pepper relish. So you have to have a little sugar to offset that, or it would just not. Wow. Boy, guys, it was so spicy in here. Larry chopped my peppers, okay? And he has gloves for the purpose. They were so hot, they burned him through the gloves. Yes. So that's what I did yesterday. I did my cannon. I wasn't really happy about it, but I did it. And I will make soap. Good morning to you all. I love you. Thanks for coming by. And you can come by anytime. Y'all watched me tune my guitar, so I felt like I needed to play something. How are you doing, Millennials Best? How are you, sweetheart? I see my Lucy Fur is on the back porch. A lovely old kitty. You know that Mr. Kittyman, I choose to believe he just ran off and found him a woman. But we haven't seen him in like 6 months. It made us sad, but she's been kind of different ever since he left. Like, she doesn't come in much anymore. She comes in and eats, gets her pay, and then demands to be back outside. I tell you what, my allergies been messed up since Saturday. I feel like my ears are on fire, guys. So if you didn't get a chance to see us almost get taken out by some firecrackers, you should watch that. Man, it was such a peaceful, mesmerizing fireworks show, and that wind switched around. By the way, because I was holding the camera and my microphone hat in the other hand, my dress blew up. I don't know what the crowd saw, but I'm telling you, it blew up in the back, and I had to take one part of my dress and kind of tuck it up under my panty on the side, on my side hip, so that it wouldn't blow up again. It was a mess. You guys, it was a mess. It did though. It blew. I'm telling you, it blew up in the back. I had underwear on, thank God. Because sometimes I'm embarrassed. I like to talk about stuff like that. It makes me who I am. I had to tell y'all. I mean, I told y'all then, but I didn't know if you could hear me with the mic and everything. My favorite part of the 4th of July fireworks show is you can hear it in the video. I told Larry, I'm scared. We were sitting against that building, and when the wind switched, I'm telling you, those fireworks got closer and closer. Then finally, we're just over our heads. And I'm thinking, we can't cut around with this building right up against our back. Oh my God. And mind you, when I got up, I just moved like 5 foot to the side. But to me, like, because I was to the side of the building, it went at my back, then I could turn and run. You guys in the tripod, I probably would have just dropped you and said, heck with that. And it's every man for himself. But it was okay. And the finale, I did make a short of most of the finale. The finale was fantastic. It's the best one they've ever had. So they went out. And bless their hearts, because they literally had fireworks in the nick of. It did start a couple of fires right there in the field right next to, but Larry put out 2 of them, and then the fire trucks were there, so they just sprayed down the whole field and everything was fine. And I said I was afraid for everyone shooting fireworks all night, because like, we're gonna set the town on fire. Heck no, we had a deluge. God said, okay, it's time to rain on this parade, and he did. He put it down. It was a little scary. I don't listen. I don't like it either, but it's to the 250th. Like, I was born the year of the centennial or bicentennial. With the special quarters and all that, and like my husband remember, he was 3, and that was the first show he remembered, and he remembers it being the best fireworks show he ever saw of his whole life. Still, of course, he was only 3. Yeah, honestly, because we escaped to get away from tyranny, right? And to get away from kings and queens, to not have a monarchy. And I pose to y'all, we pretty much have that anyway. That's just what I think, especially these days. That's all I have to say about that. I wish I could play the Star Spangled Banner. It changes notes a lot. That's all I know about that song. This land was made for you and me. I like that song. I don't know it, but I like that song. You didn't make it depressing. You didn't make it depressing at all. No, it's true. And I'll tell you, I don't think fireworks should be in the hands of modern citizens, because they have crazy ones, I believe, that can kill people. Like, Those fireworks the firemen were shooting off could have killed me, I promise you, or made me kill myself running. But like, and veterans, who actually serve this country in fighting wars, they get PTSD from hearing fireworks and stuff. And then there's the dogs, the poor dogs. I turned my TV up really loud before I left, but the dogs always get scared. They act like, are we at war, Mom? Are you just not telling us? And then my goats really don't like it either. And they can't get away from it. They're outside. Yeah. Yeah. And nothing is all bad. Fireworks aren't all bad. They, fireworks definitely don't have respect for people with PTSD. I promise you that. You can do what you want, but you're gonna hear them inside your house. Hey, Grant. How are you, Grant? We talked about soap making. Pretty sure I'm gonna get that done this week. I have no excuses now, except for the stick blender. And I'm gonna start off with making 1 bar of soap first. That's smart. I'm glad I found that part. See, and I really wouldn't have seen that, I don't think, if I hadn't read it all out to y'all. I really can't think what to play. I'm working on this one, okay? It's a little cover song. Love, you're getting lazy. You're forgetting to give me sweet sugar words that I want to hear. Been neglecting me. No jealousy, it is better as a green berry. See, I told you I'm learning it. And just like fruit from a fickle vine, turn sweet in the nick of time. Love, you only come alive when you're losing me. It's a childish game. Gotta shake you up, just to wake you up, to make you love me. I shake the sugar tree till I feel your love falling all around me. God, I didn't know it was that high. You gotta tend to what you planted. And if you take my love for granted, baby, I'll shake the sugar tree. Anything. All right, y'all. Y'all want to hear that song? That is Pam Tillis. I did not write this, and I sang it very badly. It is a jolly little song. It's country. Country roads. I don't remember that one. Listen, I learn stuff for y'all, and then I move on. But listen, look up "Shake the Sugar Tree." What was that? Is it late 80s or early 90s country song? Oh, Pam Tillis. Also, she sings like an angel. I mean, it's actually done much higher than what I was doing it. So now I was struggling to do that. So she's double. Why doesn't she know I want to sing along? Shout out to Pam Tillis. Hit me up. Teach a girl how to play guitar. Shake the sugar tree. Sing that to your old man when you want some loving. Just shame him into it. Love, you're getting lazy. You gotta tend to what you planted. You know, sing that out in the garden. It's fun. I think I'm about entertained up, guys. Chicken in the sugar tree. Look at this. Indiana Funny Farmer. Who do you think you are? She's harvesting more potatoes. And she's harvested like hundreds of pounds of potatoes this week. Not this week, this year. I'm gonna tell you, the Indiana gardeners, they have a hell of a winter, but when they can finally start pulling in crops, they can pull in crops. What is the heat like? It's going to be back up in the high 90s again. Yesterday it was in the high 80s. It was so because we got that rain Saturday night, but yeah, it's back up there again today. And I'm gonna go out tonight and water. That's about it. Because I don't have any. Well, peppers is the only thing really producing right now. The tomatoes don't like it when it's this hot. We pulled a couple of tomatoes, but not many. So I don't really have a lot going on out there. Oh no, the Goonies. Is it good enough for you? It's good enough for me. It's good enough. 2 copyrights for the day. We're due a few hot days in the UK. Yes? No, that humidity is back, millennial. It's back. We can have 50% humidity, and it'll say on our thing in Oklahoma that that's low humidity for us. And I'm telling you, it's not. It's not low humidity. 50% means it's half. Truffle shuffle. Hey, I can do that. The Amanda shuffle. My big old butt's knocking down pots. Oh, I was so mad. I spilled all that lavender. It made a mess. I wanted Haley to come home and help me clean it up. That's how mad I was. You did this. You did all of this. Speaking of which, I'm going to let y'all go because I've done an hour now officially. And girl, she was just waking up as I started. So I think you have to go away. I'm going live. She doesn't want to be on camera, right? So I got to let her out. No, I'm not going out in the heat. I promise you that. No, that's why my hair looks dumb all the time, to be honest. It's humidity. Like, if I go out and wash my hair and then I go outside, like, it's good for maybe 30 minutes. I appreciate you, Kirsty. I love you, Kirsty. And I hope you go live sometime this week. Although, you guys, Hearts Humble Homestead is going live with Have Fun in Nature Sunday. This coming Sunday at 2 p.m., I believe. Yeah, so be sure you catch that. All right, so I got to get up to turn you off. Did it? Come around there and smack my head on that door is what will happen. I love you guys. Have a good day. Peace.